Welcome to the court. I am Miss Jester. We're back with Paranormasight. So, start game. Where did we leave off? Okay, I think we last left off. The detectives were caught their second curse bearer and took the second curse stone they needed to get. Yako was trying to get out of the school and she left her friend Mio behind. And Harui was just waiting on the bridge for something to happen. Let's go check back with her. Despite having obtained the curse of the haunting clappers, Haruhi Shigema is determined to use the rite of resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator, Reicher, to find the other curse bearers. Start from conversation on the bridge. So, what's next? The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. All right. Excuse me. Oh, shit! She was with that guy! She was with the guy we had to mute. Where did she come from? It's like she appeared out of nowhere. I didn't mean to startle you. I'm terribly sorry if I've gotten the wrong people, but would you happen to be curse bearers? Oh, shit. Curse bearers. What's that, then? It means someone who's gathering the souls for the rite of resurrection. You have heard of the rite of resurrection, haven't you? Everybody's talking about it. Color me intrigued. Care to tell me more, miss? What was your name again? Oh, silly me. I'm Ayame Tono. Ayame. She was with the other guy that we had to take care of earlier. That was trying to team up with people. The detectives managed to get his curse stone away from him and send him running home, but she must have dipped. She says her name's Ayame. I would guess she's around 20. She must be brave, walking around alone this late. Or maybe there's more to it. There's more to the rite of resurrection than meets the eye, you see? So the best way to collect soul dregs is to kill other curse bearers. And that's about the size of it. I hope it wasn't too much to follow. No, I think I got the gist. Funny old world we live in, huh? So, are you saying you're one of these curse bearers? No, well, not quite. It's complicated. I'm not, but Yutaro is. Yutaru? Is that your boyfriend? Oh, heavens no. Just a friend. His full name is Yutaro Namagaki. We're, I suppose you could say, partners in crime. Funny way of putting it. About Yutaro. So, where is this Yutaru now? Well, about that, he's not actually a curse bearer anymore. He's more like a former curse bearer. Former, how so? I don't really know the details myself, but apparently he lost his curse stone. Typical, right? He makes such a show of being a top student only to flunk where it counts. So now I'm out here looking for curse bearers myself, if you want something done right. So she's willing to just ally with anyone who can help her perform the rite. He lost it. How did he do that? I wasn't with him at the time, so I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is that he came back saying he didn't have it anymore. Although, well, It's strange that you'd probe into that of all things. I'm just a curious sort, that's all. Sorry if it's a touchy subject. Oh, I don't mind. I don't particularly care about keeping it a secret. Yutaru can be a little irrational sometimes, so I have to keep a level head on my shoulders. About why you approached us? So anyway, mind if I ask you why you thought I was a curse bearer? I don't know, man, you're just like a JoJo character, like, you stand out. If I was going to wander around being asked, hey, look for the person with the magical stone that can let them curse someone, you'd probably be one of the first people I suspect just from how out of the ordinary you look. Oh, that. I'm terribly sorry, I was so rude. I saw the two of you out late at night, and I suppose I made assumptions. Gotcha. Sorry if we gave you the wrong idea. Out of interest, what was your plan if we did turn out to be curse bearers? Great question, and the answer is, I was going to ask you very nicely for your curse stones. And you thought we'd have just given them to you? Just like that? Well, maybe not. But you know what they say, you never know until you ask. You must really love your boyfriend if you're willing to try something that risky. Oh goodness, no. We're just friends. My life doesn't revolve around him, you know. Anyway, you aren't curse bearers, so I'm just bothering you, aren't I? Please ignore me. About the rite of resurrection? So what are you trying to do with this rite of resurrection? Well, Yutaru has his own plan all laid out. I don't know if I can get behind it, though. It seems, how do I put it, self-centered? Oh, killing other people to bring back one person? Like, look, I know the trolley problem is supposed to be a great debate for the ages, but it's widely agreed that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I mean, if you got a chance to resurrect the dead, it would be a waste not to use it on someone that really matters, right? So I was planning to steal his curse stone at the last second and use it for myself. Damn, you're cold! Well, until he lost it anyway. Oh, but don't tell Yutaru I was going to do that, okay? I don't think he'd be happy to hear it. Oh, that his friend was planning to betray him? Yeah, most people don't react positively to betrayal. Of course, keeping secrets is my business. My, aren't you dashing? Sounds like you really have your heart set on this rite. What were you hoping to use it on? Do you promise you won't laugh? Oh my god, if this is another bitch saying she wants to bring her dog back from the dead, I swear to god, we have a lady over here who's trying to bring back her son who was kidnapped and murdered. Look, if anyone here is gonna use the fucking rite, I think it should be either the mom trying, I think like grieving mother trying to bring back her son. I think she has the most sympathy points here. Cross my heart. Well then, let me tell you my master plan. Prepare to be amazed. Ahem. I'm an art student, you see? Woodblock prints are my specialty. You must be a cultured lady. Really? Do you think so? Everybody says it's a strange interest for a girl to have. You know, people often think of ukiyo-e as some inaccessible high-end art form, but that's totally untrue. Back in the Edo period, it was the art for the masses, amusement for the common people. So when you think about it, we feel exactly the same thrills from every brushstroke as they did back then. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, I guess. As far as I'm concerned, the undisputed king of ukiyo-e is the one and only Hokusai. Have you heard of him? Sure I have. He's famous. Didn't he live somewhere around here back in the Edo period? That's right. You're just as knowledgeable as you look. His 36 views of Mount Fuji are so iconic, they're the only works of his most people know. But Hokusai was so much more than just mountains and waves. That's only the teeny tiny tip of a veritable iceberg of work. I've got to admit, I really only know him from those landscapes myself. Oh, don't worry about it. Anyone can learn. When Hokusai died at the age of 90, he left behind over 30,000 drawings. That's multiple drawings a day for 80 years. Amazing, right? So he kept on drawing right up into his old age, huh? Impressive. But even in his final years, he was never satisfied with his own work. His dying words were, "Should heaven afford me but 5 more years, I shall finally become a true artist." Even on his deathbed, he still thought he had more to learn. He was already the greatest painter and artist of his era. Who knows what he could have done with more time? Well, that's what I want to find out. Hold on, are you saying? Besides, he always said he wanted to move out of 100 houses, but he only made it to 93. Isn't that tragic? Oh no. Nuh-uh. No way is this going where I think it's going. She wants to bring back... We are standing next to a woman who wants to bring back her murdered 10-year-old. And this bitch wants to bring back a 90-year-old man who lived a full fucking life. She's after the old man dick. Imagine the masterpieces he could create with modern techniques. I feel all dizzy thinking about it. Bitch, you're making a puddle. You've gotta be kidding me. So if I understand this correctly, you want to use the rite of resurrection to... That's right. I want to bring Hokusai back to life, you dumb bitch. Well, that is certainly a novel idea. Oh, she's pissed. She's so fucking pissed, and she is right to be pissed. That's what she'd use it on? What a waste. Okay, just all of the paint stuff. Oh gosh, is that the time? I should be going. I need to get my hands on a curse bearer before daybreak. Sorry for flagging you down out of the blue like that. Best of luck. The fuck? She wants to... Yep. She was approached by Yutaro Namagaki in town, and although she was not attracted to him, agreed to date him because his family seemed rich. However, she does not think much of him as a human being, and is beginning to grow bored of their relationship. Ayami is a clever but calculating university student who only has time for her own interests. She's making the best of the recent boom in popularity of female university students, incited by their appearance across TV commercials and radio programs. Ayami is content to ride this trend as long as it allows her to get her hands on whatever she needs and wants in life. Recently, she has figured out that older men will fall for her if she acts a little bit stupid. Fuck this bitch. Frick. Well, there goes trouble. If we're going after curse stones, we should keep an eye on her. 2 if we can. Why do you say that? Before she left, she wished us best of luck. She's got at least an inkling that we're curse bearers. My. There's a good chance we'll clash sooner or later. We're after the same thing after all. You head on back to the mansion, ma'am. I think I'll tail her for a while. Dude, she's the one with the curse stone. Like, she's the one with the curse stone. Like, why are you splitting up? Haruhi has received multiple reports about other suspected curse bearers. Although concerned about Ayami Tono, who apparently is also after the curse stone, she instructs Raicher to continue his investigation. It's 3 a.m. This is getting ridiculous. How is no one tired? Back here again. I left Raichu to continue looking for the curse bearers, and came home alone. The old Shigema mansion. We rebuilt it here after the Great Kanto earthquake. It's always stayed the same all these years. Even the war didn't touch it. I never liked it growing up. I always wanted to live somewhere more modern. I can hear the wind rustling in the trees. Maybe your husband finally came home. What? Okay, I guess nothing there for now. Let's go back. Start from the school gates. Komagata High School front gates. Mio's late. I've been waiting for 20 or 30 minutes, but there's no sign of her. Huh? There's someone coming down the road. That's... Oh no, a teacher. It's Mr. Arashi. He looks on edge. I wonder what he's doing. Well, I don't know why the hell he wouldn't just go home after the police took his curse stone and threatened to arrest him. Wait, he's the one who discovered the rite of resurrection. Wouldn't it be strange for him to be involved with the curses? I wonder if he has a curse stone. What do I do? But it's way past the 10 minutes Mio said she'd be here by. I managed to escape. I can't let that go to waste. I need to get out of here before anyone sees me. Yako, it's 2 a.m. Go home. I'm home. Thank goodness. I don't think the walk has ever felt so long. Nobody will be able to use their curse once it's light outside. I need to go look for Mio as soon as it's morning. But for now, I need to get some rest. After persuading Arashi, the curse bearer of the ever-burning lantern, to give up his stone, Tutsumi and Irio have obtained 3 curse stones in total. They continue their investigation of the town in search of the remaining curse bearers. It's 4 a.m. My guy. Well, with this, we'll have visited every place connected to the 7 mysteries. This is the last spot, huh? And we've got nothing to show for it. Even though every last location looks suspect from top to bottom. Maybe we came at the wrong time. There might not have been any curse bearers around. Looks like we'll need to do another round before morning comes then. Or maybe someone's been observing our movements. What? No way! It's just a thought. Either way, we should check out this last place. Let's hope we finally get a lead. Oh, Shogo! Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is this? Is he dead? Damn it! We were too late. Was this a curse too? Hang on. I'm going to call this in. I'll leave it to you. I'm gonna take a look around. You know, part of me wants to be upset that Shogo's dead, but also considering that he, like, was really down for murdering everyone, including a high school student. Fuck him. Boss, bad news. What is it? Another mysterious death was reported in the area just now. The medical unit and forensics team are on their way, but it'll be a while before they arrive. That is bad news. So they got someone else. You think this is the work of a curse bearer? With suspicious deaths popping up one after another, we have to assume it is. Shit. Guess we'll be stuck waiting around for a while. Shogo, you good? Huh? Boss, that phone is ringing. Answer? Well, we better go check it out. You're right, but be careful. It could be a curse. Hey, I said we. You expect me to go alone? You're the one who's tough against this stuff. Don't worry, boss. You can do it. Go on now. Damn it. Hello? Kingsbury Park phone booth. Evening, Detective Tatsumi. How are things looking out there? Who is this? I finally got him. The real deal. Detective Tetsuo Tsutsumi himself. Wait. That's Chief Inspector Tsutsumi now, isn't it? You've come a long way since we last met. I asked you to identify yourself. Man, have you forgotten already? After all the time we spent together. What a time it was. As I recall, I gave you quite the runaround. Oh my god, was this the guy that killed the kid? Wait, is this... Fumichika Nejima? Oh shit, serial killer loose. What? Did you say Fumichika Nejima? Like, the one from the Nejima murders? Ding, 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 you got it! I had a feeling that the great Chief Tsutsumi would remember me. I spent 20 long years in a cell thanks to you. That shit was not easy. You should be thanking me. Should have given you plenty of time to think and atone for your sins. He should have gotten the fucking death penalty. Fucker went and kidnapped a teenage girl, chopped her up, and threw her in the river. You don't get to live after you do something like that. That did it. I've repented. My conscience is as clean as a whistle. Bullshit. 20 years in prison doesn't even begin to make up for the shit you did. I don't know about that. After all, the justice system was gracious enough to grant me parole. What? If this is the real Fumichika Nejimi, he must still have a grudge against me for arresting him. So is this payback? Damn it! What is your goal? Now, you gotta understand. I've repented, seen the light. I've been a good boy since I was granted parole. I even got myself a job. I've been real serious about walking the right path. Well, that's very nice. Keep it up. But it was no good. When the opportunity arose, it was impossible to hold myself back. I knew I had to give you a little token of thanks, or I'd never truly be able to have a fresh start. Do you get what I'm saying? No thanks. I don't need anything. No need to do all that for me. Just try to live a quiet life. Oh, it's no hassle. No hassle at all. It would be all too easy to just kill you, to tear you apart. But that wouldn't be very satisfying. Certainly not after 20 fucking years of waiting. That's a long time to nurture a grudge. You fucking bet it is. I let it gnaw at me, grow inside of me. I thought of nothing else. All that time, I played model prisoner, endured the harassment those asshole guards threw at me. And I did it all for you, Tsutsumi. So please, just accept my deepest and most sincere feelings. Sorry, but I'm afraid I don't feel the same way about you. Shut the fuck up! That attitude of yours is why I'm saving you for last. How did you find me? How do you know where I am? That's my favorite part. The sound of confusion in your voice. It's to die for. Yeah, this is delicious. I can't get enough. I'm not telling you shit. Have fun racking your tiny little brain for it. What are you planning? Whatever it is, bring it on. I'm not running away. I just told you I'm not coming for you yet. Pay attention when people talk, shithead. You see, this time I want to see you on your knees, weeping in despair, begging me for mercy. Oh, he's gonna kill his daughter. He's gonna fucking find his daughter and he's gonna threaten her. Wow, oh no, I'm so sorry, dear Nejima. Please forgive me. I won't do it again. Shut the fuck up! This is exactly why I've always hated you so fucking much. It was worth a shot. Did you really think that would sate me, asshole? You must be crazy. You want, glass houses, dipshit. Well, then we're both crazy. We've got so much in common. We should be friends. Enjoy cracking your jokes while you still can. I'm going to kill everyone you care about, one by one, till there's no one left. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm a lone wolf. I don't have anyone like that in my life. Your ex-wife, your daughter, your partner in crime standing right over there, who is covered in death flags, by the way. Boss, what about me? You're gonna die, Ario! You're gonna fucking die! Oh, wait, are you just trying to protect me? You're gonna die no matter how hard I try to protect you. There's not a single person you care about? I wonder what your sweet daughter would think if she were to hear that. I called it. Don't you fucking dare! I'm warning you. Oh, very nice. This is more like it. She's living all on her own now, isn't she? Attending university and all? Such a good girl. Oh my, don't tell me she just happens to live in Honjo. Is she the bitch that's trying to bring the dead painter back to life? What? She does? No, forget it. This isn't funny, asshole. I'm going to find you and make you pay. I love it. Keep going. I want to hear you lose your mind. It's music to my ears. Fuck you. I look forward to chopping up your precious daughter. It'll be just like old times. I won't let that happen. I guess I could give you a little hint. Go on. Well, you see, I have the one-sided read. Oh shit, he has a curse stone. Tsutsumi, you have the evergreen beach, no? Nejima! You're a curse bearer? You're using the power of the curse stones? Indeed, and what a peculiar curse it is. But that's where my hints end. God damn it, the curse echo couldn't have fallen into worse hands. One more thing we should discuss. In fact, it's the most important thing. I thought you were finally going to shut up. I'm already sick of you, so I'll pass. Oh, but you don't want to miss this. It's the main course. I could just go after your daughter, but something tells me you'd get bored. No, I'm good. You got me real fired up. You're in my head. Well done. But this is a gift tailor-made for you. I'm going to kill all the people you swore to protect. Every last person living here. You couldn't. Oh, but with this curse of mine, I can. I'll give you until dusk. By then, I could probably get a couple hundred people or so. and it'll all be your fault. Oh, it must be so hard to know they'll all die because of you. So tragic. It must be tearing you apart. Don't fuck with me! There's no way an amateur like you could pull off a curse that strong. Unfortunately for you, I absolutely can. My curse stone is a particularly strong one, which means I can have my fun without needing to hold back one bit. It's almost like the Feast of Shadows was cast just for me. You're surprisingly well informed about this. Who was it that tipped you off? Who knows? Then how about I kill myself first and ruin all your fun? What about that, asshole? Idiot, you think I'd call it off just because you were dead? There's no running away for you. I'll find you. I won't let you get away with this, Nejima. You've got 12 hours. Do you really think your paltry little organization will be able to make a dent in my plans? Oh, the sacrifices made will be heavy. I can't wait to see you sobbing with regret. And I'll even have enough soul dregs to pull off the rite of resurrection. How splendid! Wait, Nejima, you're after the... Anyway, see ya around. Bye-bye now. Shogo's just chilling in the background, dead. Shogo, how's it feel to not be part of the plot anymore, buddy? Feel insignificant? Maybe. I would feel a bit more bad about you dying if you didn't murder a teenage girl when I told you not to. Boss! Ario, did you catch all that? Nejima, what is he planning? Who knows? For now, we need to find him and get him into custody. Send word to HQ. But the fact that the 7 mysteries are wrapped up in this is going to make things tricky. You mean with Nejima being a curse bearer too? Just our luck, really. It couldn't have been a worse guy. I don't know, Shogo killed a lot of people. Sounds like his curse will be able to kill a lot of people at once. I'd like to avoid getting our investigators caught up in the crossfire. Oh, what? At the expense of civilians? Fuck those guys. They made an oath or whatever. We'll use them to find out where he is, but then we're going in alone. We should try to collect as many curse stones as we can before then. Let's hurry. Aye, aye, boss. Later, it was reported that a total of 3 suspicious deaths were discovered that night. Nejima's threats, along with the curses, were kept secret from the general public. However, the Honjo serial killing still made international headlines following the death of police officer Hajime Yoshimi. At Tutsumi's request, a large-scale investigation was launched into the Fumichika Nejima's whereabouts. Tatsumi and Ario themselves spent the rest of the night looking for curse bearers in the area, but their search ended in vain. And with that, the curtain closed on that cursed night. 12 hours to sunset. Oh shit. We're gonna be dealing with crap during the daytime too? Okay, let's see how things are going with Yako. Bringing her friend back from the dead means she'll have to pay up the price. Yako makes it home safely, but still isn't sure about how to proceed with her curse. She worries about Mio as the night passes. 8 a.m. You have school. You have to be up for school, and you got no sleep. Oh, Mio's still alive. Good. Good. I was really worried she died back there. Oh, good morning, Yako. Huh? Yako! Rise and shine! Huh? You're up! It's morning. Are you okay? Can you remember your name? Duh. I love how we get the option of just not picking Yako's name. I'm Yako Sakazaki. Good. Seems you're fully awake. Oh, Mio. Thanks for last night. Was everything okay? Yep. Still alive. I couldn't dispel the curse echo or learn the identity of who used it, but I managed to at least get away. But in that situation, it's the best you can hope for. I'm sorry I got you involved in something so dangerous. I meant to look for you as soon as the sun rose, but I was just so sleepy. I can't even remember when I fell asleep. It's okay. It's only natural to be exhausted after what you went through. Besides, I also feel bad that you've been wrapped up in all this. It's supposed to be my job to prevent that from happening. Oh yeah, you said something about that last night. Just who are you exactly, Mio? Oh, well, the truth is, I've been trained in things having to do with the supernatural. Huh? You mean you can learn that kind of stuff like you would with the flower arranging? I had quite the eventful childhood. That sounds like it must have been tough. Yes, it would take a long time to explain, so let's leave it at that for now. As fate would have it, I've ended up as an apprentice, or maybe more like an assistant to a notable paranormal expert. Schools have always had more paranormal disturbances because young people tend to be more susceptible to these things. I'm sent to schools that may experience something paranormal and then put a stop to it before it happens. Wow, that's amazing. So it's like a part-time job you do while also being a student. Well, I do help maintain public order, but it's all part of my training, so I don't get any money. Oh, you've got it rough then. But still, that is really amazing. You were so cool when you faced off against the evil spirit. I never know if I should be happy when you compliment me like that. But anyways, that's why it's up to me to resolve any paranormal issues at the school. And why I'm going to look into the cause of all this. But for now, let's head to school. Yeah. Oh, do you have your curse stone? Now that it's daytime and its power is diminished, I should be able to hold on to it. Want to give it a try? Right. I do have it, but... Yako. Is it really so wrong? Trying to bring Michio back, I mean... I can't approve of it. The rite may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Yeah, true. I want to make sure this whole ritual ends without anyone getting hurt. That's what I believe, and what I'll put before anything else. And she's making fucking duck lips. I'm sorry, but is it okay if I hold on to it? Yako. I promise I won't use the curse no matter what, but maybe there's some other way. I just have this feeling that I shouldn't give up on a possibility yet. That said, I'll help you, even if it's to stop the curses. For the Michio that still exists within me, I'll settle things so we can move forward. Okay, but if you ever feel in danger, you can give me the curse stone at any point. Right. Thank you, Mio. Okay then, let's go. An old-fashioned candy shop located on the street corner in Honjo. It's been in Yako Sakazaki's family for 3 generations. On weekends, you can spot Yako watching over the store, cooking monjayaki, and playing traditional tops and card games with the local children. Though traditional candy shops are known for selling cheap treats for kids, it's not uncommon to see these largely privately owned businesses become something more like general stores, selling food, drinks, utensils, and other daily necessities. Many families operate candy shops on the dirt ground floor of their home, known as a doma, with the space in the back where customers can eat monjayaki, as well as arcade games and capsule toy machines in the front. Such facilities make them an attractive place for children to gather and play. However, the harsh reality is that traditional candy shops, which thrived during the period of high economic growth with many confectionery manufacturers centered in the market, are experiencing a steady decline due to the rise of convenience stores and changes in children's interest and taste. She's gonna fall asleep in class. She was up all night. She had to wake up early. She's gonna fall asleep in class. Huh? I thought it unusually noisy. There's a group of people and police in front of the school. Did something happen? If the police are here, then something must have. I'll go ask. Thanks. This isn't good. What happened? Don't panic, okay? The first teacher who came to work this morning found something. Okay. Mr. Janacci was found dead in the middle of the school grounds. Oh, cool, good. Fuck that guy. This is good news. What? They're closing the school for today? But that's not all. I didn't know this either since I didn't watch the morning news, but rumors are spreading that a number of bodies were found nearby. What? There's no way. Why? Could it be because of the curse? We don't know enough to say. From what I heard, Mr. Janouchi's body was in the middle of the grounds, but his body was covered in bruises, like he'd fallen from somewhere high. Weird. Taking into account his unnatural death and the timing, it's very likely it has something to do with a curse. You're saying someone used their curse stone on him last night? Seems like it, doesn't it? But that's so scary. Yeesh. So the curses really do kill people. And someone used it. Shh. Keep your voice down, okay? What would happen if another curse bearer heard you? Sorry. His deceased body was discovered in school grounds at dawn. Good, fuck this guy. He was creepy and I think he was up to some sketchy shit with underage girls. Like, I'm down with him dying. Good riddance. Fuck that guy. I wish we had a little more information, but they've locked up the front gate. Maybe we could sneak in through the back entrance. That person over there. Isn't that Hitomi Okuda? You're right. That's unusual. Oh, but she was at the school last night, too. She must know something about Mr. Janouchi. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, Mio, wait for me! Huh? So you're telling me the two of you were the ones at school last night? No sense in hiding it, then. Plus, I owe you one, Mio. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you. She owes you? Yeah, right after I transferred here, there was a bit of trouble. She gave me one of those, what was it, exorcisms? Huh. So that's what it was. The exorcism? Hitomi, you were possessed by some kind of evil spirit? I don't understand it all too well myself. What I can say for sure is, thanks to Mio, the weird symptoms that were happening to me all went away. Yep, some people are born with a natural sensitivity to the paranormal. They tend to end up isolated as they struggle to relate to the people around them. They also tend to draw spirits to them naturally. This can cause strange symptoms they don't understand, like headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations, even memory problems. I'm sure it must have been very hard. So that's how it works, huh? Do people also have their personality taken over when possessed too? It's possible with spirits who have a very close relationship to their target, like siblings or a parent and child. But you almost never hear about people being taken over completely. It's when the two parties aren't in sync that those negative effects can start to appear. So the seances, or whatever you see on TV, are all bogus. Not quite. There are mediums and diviners who can align their minds with the spirits they call. Though, there are people on TV who are just putting on a performance. Huh. There are people who in life have extremely powerful spirit sense or deep connection with the person. But even they shouldn't be able to completely take over the person they possess. And even if they could, it'd only be enough to pressure them to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them to do on their own to begin with. But if that's the curse, wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or not? Hence why there are a lot of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. Though the spirit may influence the behavior and memories of the host. The deeper their connection in life, the easier it is for that to occur. I see. Getting possessed by a spirit is pretty complicated, huh? It must have been tough for you being possessed for so long, Hitomi. Whatever might happen to me doesn't make any difference. Me being able to see spirits and stuff has nothing to do with how things ended up like this. Yeah, it's not like being able to see them is your fault either. The same goes for me. Maybe it's just something we have to live with. I think you have a knack for it yourself, Yako. I bet you could see them too with a little training. I think I may pass. So that's why you do the job you do, huh, Mio? I thought she was a weirdo when she showed up, all of a sudden saying she was gonna exorcise me. If you hadn't said anything, I probably would have knocked your lights out. You tried to perform an exorcism on her without telling her anything? You see, in my experience, most people don't understand no matter how much I explain. They only accept my explanation after they see the results. Huh, I guess that makes sense. Did you hear about Mr. Janauchi? Heard about it. I've known about it since last night. I saw that asshole bite it on the school grounds myself. What? You saw it happen? Did you kill him? Like, if you killed him, I'm not gonna judge. Fuck that guy. Proud of you for killing him. It would have been a win for feminism. Tell us about it. What happened exactly? Don't really know myself. It was pitch black. What I can tell you, it was almost dawn, probably around 3. He started freaking out all of a sudden, ran on the ground like something was chasing him, then screamed. Somebody help me! Forgive me, Michio! Or something like that while he was running around. Michio? He mentioned Michio? Was there anyone else on the grounds? It was too dark to see from where I was. But for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with her hair in braids. Oh my fucking god, her ghost killed him. That is so awesome. Good for her. Good for her. Oh? I didn't go to make sure, but it could have been nothing for all I know. Then I heard him begging for his life like I was wrong and I'll do anything. Then all of a sudden his arms and legs snapped, even though he was just standing there. His arms and legs broke without anything being done to him. He fell over and quit moving, so I thought I'd better get out of there. Then he croaked. That's all I saw. I see. But from what you told us, it almost sounded like Michio's ghost chased down Mr. Junichi and killed him. Hell if I know anything about that. I'm just telling you what I heard him say. Did you tell that story to the police? Nope, and I ain't gonna. Can't count on them for shit. Not like they'd believe such an insane story anyways. Right. But there must be at least one person in the police worth trusting, right? Ah, shit, the guy that died. Yeah, I guess. There was this one cop who always got on my case about stuff. But he died just the other day. Oh, he did? I'm sorry to hear about that. Everyone who gets involved with me ends up dead. Maybe I really am cursed. Pisses me off. You've got it all wrong. The spirit that possessed you wasn't that kind of spirit. It wasn't? Yeah, this was just an unfortunate coincidence. Though, I'm sure that was hard enough for you. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Hey, Mio, I've been wondering something. The way she described it reminded me of something. The way Mr. Genichi died. It sounds a lot like how Michio died. Of course, I didn't see it myself, but the state of Michio's body was in. It was like she had fallen from high up. Could they have been killed by the same curse? I don't think so. The curse of the Seven Mysteries hadn't manifested when she died. And if we can trust what the spirit board said, then Michio died in an accident. Oh, right. Hitomi, last night before you witnessed Mr. Junichi collapse, can I ask what he and you were doing in that classroom? You gonna tell the cops? Oh, right, with everything that happened with Mr. Junichi. They'll suspect you if we told them that we saw you with him that night. Anytime something happens with someone like me, all those shitty adults start jumping to conclusions. I understand. I won't tell them. You wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. If you say so, then I don't mind telling you about it. So last night, that piece of shit Junichi called me over here acting like he was gonna attack me or something. What? How terrible! Whatever. I'm glad he's dead. He had it coming. He had it coming, da-da. He had it coming, da-da. He had it coming all along. If you had been there, if you had seen it, how could you tell me that I was wrong? Calling people worthless and a cancer on society when he doesn't know shit about them. That asshole was the one always acting like scum if you ask me. Is that so? Could you tell us in more detail why he called you out in the middle of the night? It's hard to explain. Where to start? What did you mean by Mr. Junichi was acting like scum? Was he doing something bad? You know Michio Shirashi, right? The girl who killed herself? Huh? Michio? I don't know everything, but that creep of a teacher had some dirt on her. And he was using it to blackmail her, call her up after school, and make her do whatever he wanted. What? What do you mean when you say whatever he wanted? I'll leave it to your imagination. Nothing that a couple model students like you would ever get involved in. No way, that's how? What do you mean by dirt? I don't know anything about this. How could I not have known about this? Yako, I know how you feel, but try to calm down. You got guts acting like you were her friend. Junichi really did a number on both Michio's body and soul. Oh, shit. She probably felt like she couldn't tell anyone. Like she had to suffer alone. No! How terrible! Hitomi, how do you know about this? I just happened to walk in on it. I know the spots around the school people go when they want to stay out of sight. He ran off in a panic when I yelled at him, asking what he was doing. Walked in on it? I couldn't just leave her alone, looking like she was about to cry, so I stuck around for a bit. She told me everything that happened in whispers. She probably figured I wasn't the type to spread that stuff around. But she never asked for my help. She told me that she was fine and to keep it a secret. Michio, why? She probably thought she just had to grit her teeth till it was through. She was naive. I tried to tell her that if you give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile. She kept saying about how it was her punishment. She was soft. No! Of course, Junichi didn't change. He kept on doing what he was doing. I don't understand either of them, but that's as much as I was involved. And then she killed herself. Nothing I can do about it now. Hitomi, if you knew about it, then why didn't you? You trying to say it's my fault? She told me not to say anything. She told me she was fine. So what the hell more responsibility do I have other than what I already did? Yako, there's no point in blaming Hitomi. Michio, why? Did you hear what this dirt was? Nope, never heard what it was. But from the sound of it, he'd been blackmailing her since about a year ago. For that long? The dick probably caught her doing something she shouldn't have been. She looked well behaved, but there's more to a person than meets the eye, you know? There must be some reason. Don't know. Got nothing to do with me. So last night, how did it start? Alright. Remember that nosy cop I mentioned who was always on my case? He died at the former Yasuda Gardens a couple days ago. Yoshimi was his name. He was part of the juvenile division. He didn't look like a cop at all. Real rough guy, but good at looking out for folks. So he was the only one I could talk to. Huh. So there was someone like that with the police. Too bad he ended up dying. Oh, another thing. One time he suddenly introduced his fiancée to me. It was hilarious seeing a big guy like that act like a shy little kid all of a sudden. She told me that she was like me when she was my age, and that she was on my side. It must have been a terrible loss for her too. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for her when I think about how sad she must be. And I saw him at the gardens the night he died. Oh no. Whenever I would get worked up over something, Yoshimi always took me straight to that park. Said he'd listen to whatever it was that I was pissed off about. That day, he called me over there like usual. But something seemed off about him, like he was worried about something. Worried about something? Yeah, he asked me for a favor too. That was pretty unusual. A favor? What kind of favor? He handed me this weird talisman and asked me to hold on to it for him. Oh shit! God damn it. The death game didn't start with Shogo. That's why Yoko had one earlier that we took off her. A talisman? Yeah, just a normal good luck charm. I figured if that's it, then sure, I'll take it. I have it with me now. But that wasn't all. Then he told me the truth. Then he told me he wanted me to look for a talisman Michio Shirashi had that looked like this one. Huh? Michio? What does she have to do with this? Yoshimi had been meeting up and talking with her. And while they were together, he noticed that she had a special talisman or something. But apparently, Michio always avoided the subject. The talisman Michio had? He knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Could there have been something that Michio couldn't tell even the police about? I know things at home were a little complicated. From what I heard, Michio was keeping her mouth shut about what Junichi was doing to her. Hard to talk with cops when someone's got dirt on you. And I didn't squeal on anything about Michio either. Michio, what is it that had such a strong grip on you? So basically, Yoshimi didn't just have his eye on Michio, but her talisman too. But after she died, he didn't know where it ended up. So since I knew her from school, he wanted me to look into it for him. Is there something special about the two talismans? I wonder why he gave it to you. Hell if I know. When I looked inside, there's just a weird, kind of grimy scrap of wood. So you've seen inside it. But from the way he was acting, it seemed important to him somehow. But to be honest, what he was asking is such a pain in the ass, I figured he had to be serious about it. Oh, and since he died right after that... Yeah, he even said to me, if anything happens to me, take those two talismans. Give them to a guy named Nakagoshi at the police department. Knowing what I know now, he probably felt that something was going to happen to him. Nakagoshi? Do you know him, Miho? No, I've just heard the name, I think. So there really is a Nakagoshi. That's a relief, at least. Anyway, it didn't feel right just ignoring a dead guy's last request. Hitomi! Yeah? That talisman. Would you mind if I had a look at it? Sorry, but I don't trust you all that much. It's important to me. Oh, okay. So last night you were looking for the talisman Michio had. Yeah. And I figured that piece of garbage teacher would know the most about Michio. I asked him yesterday afternoon if he knew anything about her talisman. He gave me some cryptic response like, I can't talk about it now. Come to the school at night. He even gave me the code to the lock on the back entrance. He seemed pretty willing to give it out, so I wouldn't be surprised if he used it for secret meetings before. Yuck! I can only imagine. We climbed over the front gate to get in. So yeah, we met up in the classroom in the middle of the night. But nothing he said made any sense. Like, I was really Michio and stuff like that. He went on and on about how it was my fault and that if only I hadn't been around or something. He grabbed a hold of me, breathing heavily. Ew! Were you okay? Yeah, that's right when you two showed up. I was able to get away while Janouchi was freaking out. Oh my gosh! Good thing you got away! So it's really all thanks to you two that I got away. But I didn't get any info about the talisman, so the whole thing was sort of a bust. Afterwards, I was wondering what you two were up to, so I hid nearby. Then I saw you and old man Ashimiya talking, and then Mio showed up. Oh, you did? That's also why I saw Janouchi come back outside and bite it. I see. So you were only here to look for Michio's talisman. I was dumb to fall for that creep Junichi's trap so easy. It could have gone a lot worse, but I lucked out. What you described does sound like Michio killed Mr. Janouchi. She did have a reason to hate him after all. No way. You mean that was really her ghost? Like, for real? Those who die bearing strong resentment or regret can occasionally become spirits, either bound to a place or roaming freely. However, it'd usually be impossible for them to kill the living. Most don't have that kind of power. But it's possible they possess someone close to them to act on those lingering regrets. Huh. I wonder if that's what happened. Alright then. Suppose that what the spirit board said is true, and Michio's death was an accident. Then she must have had some regrets. If she really hadn't given up on living, that is. I don't think she was the kind of girl who would just give up, no matter the situation. I don't really know, but she did... I don't really know, but she didn't seem like the type who had something tormenting her so much that she'd kill herself. And that's all I know. Happy? I still gotta look for the talisman. Sure. Thank you, Hitomi. Oh, but if you two find out anything about Michio's talisman, we'll be sure to let you know. Thanks. Oh, can we get your contact info? Where can we normally find you? Right, I'm not at home most of the time. Usually I'm at a friend's place. Here's the phone number. Thanks. We'll call her if we need to talk with you. And, what is it? You're easier to talk to than I imagined. I was kind of scared at first, but not anymore. Shut up. You were the one avoiding me. Anyway, catch you later, and don't die out there, okay? Thanks. We'll be careful. Alright then. We've got a lot of new information. Sounds like Mr. Junichi was killed by a curse, just as we thought. Which means there was a curse bearer at the school. Multiple, in fact. Multiple? You think so? Yes. The curse echo we experienced in the school and the one that killed Master Junichi seem to be different. The people in the school at the time other than us were Mr. Junichi, Hitomi, and Old Man Ashimiya, who you ran into. I was thinking that it would be among them, but there was one more person. Hitomi saw a girl in a school uniform with braids. From what Hitomi was saying, it doesn't seem like she's one. Mr. Junichi is pretty suspicious, though. If he was a curse bearer, it would certainly explain why he was killed. That's why I say there were multiple. Oh, right. The person who killed Mr. Junichi would have had to be one, too. Which means that there either must be the mysterious girl or Old Man Ashima. I think it was Yako. I want to check Yako's curse stone to see if there are soul drugs in it. I think that Mishima, the girl that was the dead girl, I think her ghost might have possessed Yako and made Yako use her curse stone. And Yako doesn't remember it. Like, I want to check the stone and see if there are soul drugs in it. We should certainly be careful of them. That said, the mysterious girl and the fact that Mr. Junichi thought it was Michio that was attacking him has me wondering. Of course, I doubt Michio herself was actually there, but... Oh, I just remembered. I also saw Mr. Arashi outside the main gate last night. You did? It's likely that he's involved with the curses given that he's the one doing the research on the rite of resurrection. So we'll have to be careful of Old Man Ashimiya and Mr. Arashi. I want to believe that not all curse bearers will be hostile, but... As for what we do now, I'd like to find who is responsible for the Feast of Shadows that set this off, and how they did it. I don't think we'll be able to end this without stopping at its source. Huh, that makes sense. In which case, next we should do what exactly? We'll need to talk with Mr. Arashi. He definitely knows something. It should be safer during the day, so I think we should try to look for him. Got it. I'll help in any way I can. But the school is closed. I wonder where he could be. Let's try heading someplace people may know where he is. Where to go then? Oh, we gotta go look for him now? Okay. I'm gonna take a quick break, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. Let's head to the gardens. And so, Mio Karasuzu and Yako Sarasaki decided on their next location to investigate. Okay, so they're just... Okay. Okay. Hajime Yoshimi's death, Nejima's threat of mass murder, the problems just pile up, putting the detective's goals of collecting all the curse stones in jeopardy. Tatsumi leaves Ario to handle the investigation while he catches a quick break. Dude, you need to get some sleep. You are running on no sleep. They are like popping caffeine pills to keep going at this point. Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information. Took you long enough. Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in. Thanks. The floor is yours. The serial killings. A total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in this area, including the one in this park. So let's start with that one. The young man we found here. He's been identified as Shogo Oki, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of asphyxiation due to water in his lungs. He drowned. He drowned? In the middle of the park? Who did you abandon? Shit. That's not possible. It's gotta be a curse stone we're dealing with. About that, boss? Isn't this park associated with one of those 7 mysteries, too? Yeah, the Whispering Canal. That's right, the Whispering Canal. It does seem like there's be a link between the canal and death by drowning, don't you think? Sharp thinking, Ario. You're starting to get the hang of this. So let's assume they're related. What's next? Before that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamizawa. The victim has been identified as Tawako Haishi, a 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. As for the cause of death, well, yes. The entirety of her body was crushed by some strong external force. No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, we're looking for some large, flat, heavy thing that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. Hang on, are you saying she was stepped on? The foot-washing mansion. Exactly. Crushing is the foot-washing mansion's modus operandi. The place the body was discovered is also known to be related to the 7 mysteries. Then is this Namagaki's doing? Shit, I knew he'd used it. Judging by the amount of soul dregs, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer. Guess we should report this to the Paranormal Affairs. Got it. And as for the 3rd victim, he was identified as Kohei Jonachi, 32, and a teacher at Komagata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. Cause of death appeared to be external trauma from a fall or a heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Since he was found in the middle of the courtyard, he couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building. A teacher dying at school. And that's not just anything at school. Komagata House is one of the 7 mysteries. Which is it? The Fool's Procession. Right! It's where the Fool's Procession is supposed to be. It's too big of a coincidence. We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. I see. Either way, it seems all 3 victims can be tied to the 7 mysteries. There's probably a curse bearer at the center of it all, pulling the strings. But you've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction. That's right. And Hajime's case wasn't all that different either. He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the 7 mysteries. Problem is that the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated. Could he have been hit by a different curse? One that didn't have anything to do with the 7 mysteries? That's a thought, but if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner. One who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that. Oh, really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff. I'd be more surprised if you did. So did we, pick up that body? What did we do to Shogo? While looking at these deaths, it seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night. But we can't rule out that there were more killings from which the bodies haven't been found. Yikes, I hadn't thought of that. But there is one silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems that the curses can't be activated while the sun is out. Oh, that's great news. So basically we're safe during the daytime. Exactly. It's also likely why Nejima gave us till dusk. Ah, he must have known the curse stones couldn't be used during the day. Either way, we've got until nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers. Aye aye, boss. Let's do this. At the moment, we only know the identity of 4 curse bearers, you included. Yutaro Namagaki had the foot-washing mansion, and Hideki Arashi had the ever-burning lantern. We've got both of their curse stones. And then there's Nejima, who claims he had the one-sided reed. Yeah, that about sums it up. Okay, notes on known curse bearers. The ever-burning lantern, Tetsuo has it. The one-sided reed, Nejima has it. The foot-washing mansion, Tetsuo has it. The Taiko of Tsusugari, we don't know who has that one yet. The Evergreen Beach, Tetsuo has it. The Haunting Clappers, Haruhi has it. The Beckoning Light, we don't know who has it. The Fool's Procession, Yako has it. So that is 3 unknown, and 1 that we really, really need to stop. We'd better figure out who the remaining 5 are quick. How should we go about looking for them? There's no point in searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Nejima may lead us to the other curse bearers too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. Maybe you should call your daughter and, get her to a secure location where she would be safe. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. I've got a feeling there's some connection there. Aye aye, boss. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. I asked about Sumida's Community Safety Bureau, where Yoshimi was stationed. It seems he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michio Shirashi. Yeah, I heard about that. He was trying to determine whether it was really a suicide, looking into the height of the building and the force of impact, her wounds, all that. He must have suspected some kind of foul play, because he ordered a full investigation. But it had already been deemed a suicide, and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up. Huh. What was the evidence? Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways away from the road. There was no evidence of vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide. But he thought there was more to it. Yes, a truck or other flat vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted a similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look a lot like a fall. So there's a chance that it wasn't a suicide. But what a terrible way to go. Oh god, someone just fucking hit her with their car and then they moved the body so they wouldn't get in trouble for it. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all. This is turning into quite the grisly case. But the vehicle couldn't have come from a collision like that unscathed. Exactly. So I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for vehicles with frontal damage. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard. So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident rather than a suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because he was on the verge of discovering the truth. That's true. You think the driver is the one who did him in? Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to forensics in the traffic bureau, right? His death wouldn't have covered things up. You're right on that. Even if the suicide was a cover-up for a hit and run, it doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Like, killing a cop is always, like, a bad idea. Because if you go to prison, while the other inmates will respect you for killing a cop, the guards will be really fucking angry on you. And if you're in prison, you do not want to be on the guard shit list. Also, when people go down for killing a cop, they go down hard for it. Oh, that's right. Unrelated, but I got something else too. I managed to get a hold of Michio Shirashi's address. Yoshimi went there a bunch over the course of his investigation. Might be a good idea for us to drop by too. Good thinking. Hopefully that'll give us some more leads. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. He's been up all night gathering information. Must be nice to be young and have that kind of energy. But I'm glad I have him on my side. It gave me a chance to rest up. Hajime Yoshimi. Remember the girl Yoshimi met the day he died? One Hitomi Okada? Community safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand. Not even an address? Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they hadn't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. They said that she still goes to school once in a while, so we might be able to find her there. Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have community safety track her down for us? We can ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. For starters, Komagata High School is closed today. Ah, because of the teacher that died? That's right. Alright, but if it's not something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then. I got some information about Yoshimi's fiancé from the community safety. Her name is Mayu Chozawa, 27-year-old. She works as a beautician in the area. Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. But, oh boy, here it comes. But what? Community safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response. Dead silence. There it is. Can't things just be easy for once? We haven't seen her around yet. Mayu is a beautician and fiance of Hajime Yoshimi, a police officer with the Sumida Police Department. Mayu's current whereabouts remain unknown. It's definitely starting to look suspect. A crime of passion, perhaps? It is fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or a spouse. But Yoshimi was well liked, and they'd been together for over 10 years. You never know. Things could be different behind closed doors. I guess so. But we'll have to consider the opposite scenario, too. It could have been the same person who was out for Yoshimi is after his fiancé as well. She could be in danger. You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. Oh, God. HQ has mobilized a search unit for Nejima. But so far, we haven't received any word. Guessing he wasn't at home or at work. About that, apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago. You serious? So we have no idea where he lives? It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit. Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that? Where was his parole officer? Where the fuck was his parole officer? Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out he'd been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking in on his workplace. He also said he lost track of Nejima when he moved to a new place. How do you lose track of someone? Jeez, that's just sloppy. I've heard that they're giving parole to just about anyone these days, because they're running out of room in the prisons. Which also means there aren't enough probation officers to go around. Dude's probably overworked. So Nejima got to fuck about unsupervised. God damn it. That asshole is annoyingly good at faking remorse, or insanity, or whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth. He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. That explained why he so brazenly made contact. That asshole. He's mocking us. Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed. That's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk. Speaking of Nejima. Yeah? Did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her into protective custody as soon as possible. Not yet. I can't reach her. They called, but she's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house either. That's not good. Does that mean she never came home? And why weren't you the one trying to reach her? Shut up. I don't have her contact info, alright? Damn, she really doesn't trust you, huh? Either way, I told her mother that it was an emergency and that we'd send an officer to find her and get her to safety. She was really reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess that explains why you got divorced. But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Nejima do it? Former, eh? That cuts deep. Yikes, sorry, it just kinda slipped out. Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo. Back on the topic already, huh? He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance. I see. The one-sided read. What was the story about again? Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane and chops her up? All right. One of the more gruesome of the 7 mysteries. These curses are choosing people that would fit them. As for Nejima's whereabouts, all we can do is throw more people at it until we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they've got any updates. And that's about it. Shall we continue our investigation? Oh yeah, I love this music. This is a great soundtrack. This game has an amazing soundtrack. We could go to Komagata High School to look into Hitomi Akuda, or to Michio Shirashi's house to find out more about her. There's a lot we need to do, but not a lot we can do. This ain't looking good. We're gonna run out of time if we don't do something. Gotta keep moving. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep things mostly in the time. Okay, this one's ended. I can't continue that one. Throughout the night, Rachel continues to gather information about the curse stones, while Haruhi lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with a curse bearer and have them use the right for our purpose. Oh? I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than expect. Yeah, lady, you got a lot of money. Compensation. Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigemas, would it? Of course, why, any amount would be fine if it get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom. Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough to soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. You think there's someone behind all this? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking the person is not one of the curse bearers. You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it may seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs, if they were after the rite, it would be very risky since a curse bearer they themselves would become a target. So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right. But despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the soul dregs while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action, which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So how do we do it? There's still a reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing more than a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught, do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curse as ourselves. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's a Yametono, the girl we talked to before, though she isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Michidori-jo Park. You even determined her address. You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum, pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way there. It doesn't seem like she returned home. I'm worried she might have run into trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She is planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is the tall man who was dressed in black. I met here near Kinchiko. He stood out with the way he was dressed. I managed to get some good information on him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as the secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. I think I got that one right. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running around at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the rite would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare. Ha! Now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul dregs, right? Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him, though, and I couldn't get enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the Rite of Resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Arashi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course, I wanted to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on the South Wargasu Street. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings, where there was a body found at Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Joichi. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means that 2 people who know the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shirashi's residence. It'd be wise to pay a visit. Understood. In addition to the 3 victims associated with Honjo's serial killings, there's Michio Shirashi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries' curses? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue our investigation? What do you want me to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. If we go to the park, she'll meet the girls. We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayami Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. This place is connected with the story of Teiko Sugari. Not only that, Katsuga Hasugi's home was also in the area. This might be why Ayame chose to live here. We won't get much done standing around here. Why don't you and I go check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I'd prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then be my guest. Okay, I shouldn't be long. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing? I'm afraid so. She hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they've got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. You were planning to go that far? We won't make much progress sticking around here. What a waste of time. We should move quickly. The Hyaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Warigesu Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but appears things are up and running now. To think a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsui Yamanori is called the Queen. You mentioned Takumi works as her secretary. That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. First, I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit a cafe or for some tea, perhaps. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Warigesu ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinocho Station or Rikoko Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. This is quite a lively area, huh? I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center. It'll be better if I head into the headquarters alone. So an influential person at Hyaku Soaps is potentially a curse bearer. Retro proposed we use money to negotiate for the curse stones. But we could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. He tells me he barely slept last night, and yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what sets apart a detective from the rest. Dude, are you gonna go inside the building? I'm going to go in. It may be a while, so feel to find somewhere to kill time. Okay, good luck in there. He better not die. We need him. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I have met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night. But it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However, you said your name was Raicher, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. He doesn't have it, dude! Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right. We lack time. I'll confess, I'm a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. Oh, your soap company? Your soap company is so skilled in discarding cursed artifacts? Bullshit. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. Dude, she's just some rich old lady. She also had a deep love for this land, having transformed it from a pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Shugin Gemoto who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? These are curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable actions. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. Oh, you're full of shit. 6? Whoa, I can rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. If that's the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. Dude, punch him in the dick and run away. Punch him in the dick and run as fast as you can. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. Oh, Raicher's gonna die. He's gonna get killed. And he's not even gonna get killed by a curse. He's gonna get killed by, like, getting hit with a bat or something, probably. And that's how it went. So they aren't after the right after all. I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. That's an over-the-top lie. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? Cute. Hey, you become a follower? You made a contract with me. It's kind of like becoming a magical girl. I am so pumped for the Madoka Magica movie coming out. I'm so excited. I've been waiting years for it. This is going to be great. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so easily, so casually? I thought Rebellion was good. But I also thought that Homura was, like, right? Like, I know the next movie is gonna be about how they need to stop Homura, but Homura was like, okay, the incubators are never gonna stop going after Madoka, so I'm gonna just take the target off her back, put it onto mine. Also, Sayaka's my favorite character, and now Sayaka's alive again, so I'm pumped about that. Rebellion, best movie ever. Sayaka's alive again. Oh, they did. They kind of did. I feel like they were trying to do what the show initially did, where it spent like the first 3 episodes trying to lull you into a false sense of security so it could sucker punch you. But that doesn't really work a second time, because like if you're on the 3rd movie, you already know that what this show's about. So when it's like trying to make everything seem all nice and wonderful and everything's gonna be great, then it's kind of like, well, that's not, you know it's not gonna last. So it's not really sucker punching you. It's just kind of like you're waiting for it to do this. If she really were that powerful, did somebody get shot in episode 1? I know Homura pulled out a gun. Oh yeah, I know Homura pulled out a gun. And that was intense. That was like, oh look, magical girls. Oh god, okay, this one has a gun. And it's like, it's not like she has like mommy's cute little rifles and muskets made of ribbons. It's like, nope, she just straight up pulls out a Glock. Nothing magical about that, just straight up like, yep, here's a gun. In the hands of a teenage girl. And she's trying to shoot a cute little magical cat with it. If she were really that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. Why would you try to spread a rumor that your boss is a witch? Technically, a lot of people have been murdered, and it's more like a death game. So, a bunch of people were given these curse stones, and they can use them to kill other people, or curse bearers. And like, when you kill someone, you get part of their soul. And if you kill a curse bearer, a bicycle. If you kill a curse bearer who has another curse stone, then you get a lot more soul for it because they were more powerful. And when you collect enough, then you can use the curse stone to bring someone back from the dead. So what's happening now is we have a series of different protagonists who are, in this case, this woman is trying to find the other curse bearers so she can steal their curse stones and use them to try and bring her dead son back to life, while also having this detective try and figure out who was behind her son's murder all those years ago. Then we have 2 detectives who, yeah, you get one, but her plan is she doesn't want to kill people to collect their souls, so she's hoping that if she just steals other people's curse stones, then she can use whatever souls they have collected without actually having to kill anyone herself. Then there's 2 detectives who are trying to gather all the curse stones to basically keep people from being murdered, while also trying to uncover the murder of a cop that was killed a few days ago, potentially by a curse, and also trying to figure out a loose serial killer who has a curse stone and says he's planning on murdering a bunch of people with it to get back at the officer that arrested him for murder. Then we also have like 2 high schoolers who are trying to find who are just trying to figure out what's happening. The curse bearers are kind of like a backdrop to them, Because what they're really trying to figure out is who killed their friend, who everyone thought it was a suicide, but they think that it was actually a murder. So this game has like 3 different protagonists, and I keep cycling between them. Well, I've died a couple of times already. I've had to keep restarting. For what purpose would he spread a rumor? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. Huh. That's unsettling. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether or not one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the 7 mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. In the meantime, we should be off somewhere else before there's no reason to stick around here any longer. Okay, all that's left is to go to the high school, right? Here we are at Ground Zero, Komogata High School. Honestly, this game has an amazing soundtrack. Like, the music they play when the police officers are, like, getting investigated and it goes, like, full, like, cop drama mode, it's really good. Here we are at Ground Zero, Komogata High School. I guess it's logical that the police got this place shut down. The teacher's body was found here, after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. They could just go home. Like, go home. Play some video games. Hit the arcade. Day off. He appears to be wary of those police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like those detective novels. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. Well, I think in this case, they did get dressed to go to school, and then it wasn't until they actually showed up at the school gates that they were told, hey, there's no school today, your teacher's dead, the body's over there, go home. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. What are you gonna do? Go up to the dead body and start looking through the pockets for a curse stone? I'm sure the police are gonna love that. It's not like this is an active crime scene or whatever. I can ask around and see what those students have to say. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Junichi and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought, but there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe Michio is the one who killed Mr. Janauchi. Really? The story's got 2 pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told his students. Then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumor that juicy doesn't stay secret for long. As for the other piece of information, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around the school last night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio, brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if that were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me how easy it is to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got in the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no? I mean, we're trying to figure out the case behind a teenage girl being murdered. And now we're finding out that her address was super easy to access. That's not great. That's not great. Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it is now possible for us to visit Michio Shirashi's house. I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay home for some time, if not for fear of their own safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving this case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right. I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. I expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. I guess we're gonna go to her house and talk to her parents and say, hey, we think your dead daughter might have known about my son's kidnapping. Can you tell us anything about that? I don't think her parents will be very receptive for this. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shirashi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and the lights were out. It seemed to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out the Shirashi reputation really went down the dumps in this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. He actually said earlier in the game that this outfit helps him as a detective, because when you see a guy in such an outlandish outfit, you never expect him to be someone who's trying to hide his identity and not stand out. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. Oh yay, a present. At first they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-in-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Konchiko Iwai. Neighborhood gossips is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So what of this EY character. He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him not to hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shirashi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. There was a child being put in danger through this. Where was child services? That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstance, but just as many were fed up with the Shirashis entirely, and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems like they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. UI, unemployed. Okay, if he's unemployed, how is he going to help them with the money? The common-law husband of Michio Shirashi's mother, Toshiko Shirashi. Kenshiro started coming and going from the Shirashi household a little over a year ago. It seems that he has some time in prison, but the details are unknown. Oh, so you came here too. What is it? Oh! Hello, officers. Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Reicher? Well, this is gonna be interesting. The protagonists are finally interacting with each other. Yeah, this is a good game. It's awesome. I like it. Okay, I think this is a good place to stop for today. I've been playing for over 2 hours. I'm going to be playing again next Sunday at 12 if you want to join me then. Check out my stream schedule so you can see my other streams too. Join my Discord server because every time I do a stream, I at everyone in the announcement section so that they can get an announcement if I ever do a surprise one. I hope everyone has a great time. Stick around if you want to join a raid I'm going to set up. But until next time, show's over.